Hey YouTubers, Raven here,
Starfire.
and today we're talking about The Flash.
From Tuesday!
Last week.
Yeah. So it is season 7, episode 7. Growing Pains.
7-7. It's a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of saw the ending coming, like, I did worry that Frost was going to break Caitlin out, but I hoped they would talk her down, and they did. I was like, yay.
Mm-hmm.
But, I knew, she was going to have to turn herself in if they didn't want it to be a violent takedown.
Right.
And so I was just waiting for that to happen, because next episode,
It's
not
the
next
People
week.
versus Killer Frost.
Right.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Stupid. Like, why?
16 days.
There's no reason.
Because if they're going to air Supergirl, which comes on after The Flash does on Tuesday, for the next 2 weeks, why aren't they airing The Flash? I mean, the seasons are already started late, and they're probably going to be shorter. So why take a break when that's going to take away time from you airing the episode?
Right. I mean, it's not even time for the mid-season. So
I mean, I don't know how many episodes there are going to be this season. But this was episode 7, so they're not even that far into it.
No.
And technically, they've only aired 4 episodes of season 7 so far, because the first 3 episodes of the season were from season 6.
Right.
So if we're counting just season 7 episodes that they've aired, they've only aired 4.
Yeah. So it's just like, are you going to show your show or not? Like, make up your mind.
I mean, I understand that shows, with the schedule and everything, have to take breaks every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Like a week or 2 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
for us to have already caught up is bullshit.
When it started in February, and we haven't even gotten halfway through the season yet.
No.
I really don't think you need to be taking a 2-week break.
There's no need. There's no call for it. It's bullshit.
But I don't make the rules, so.
Maybe CW is having a special on that time slot, or
maybe
premiering a new show. Are they having a new show?
No.
No.
Not at that time, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, they have that new Kung Fu show,
yeah, but
I don't think
Wednesdays.
that starts. Yeah. Like, I didn't think that was gonna take, that was gonna be in that slot. Like, that's stupid.
I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're just gonna show repeats. That's usually what they do.
Right, but there's no reason. Like, I'm so confused by this.
Maybe, what I'm thinking is maybe they have to take it because they're trying to catch up on the amount of episodes they've filmed. Maybe they're getting too close to what they filmed, and so they want to give a little bit more space so that they have more episodes filmed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe with COVID restrictions, maybe they can only film, maybe there's more restrictions than just, a part.
Because I think sometimes they just do that in general with the breaks, though, because maybe, because they're currently still filming the season, and so they're trying to, allow for a little bit more time to film some episodes, and then they'll air them again.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, when it comes on in the fall, we have multiple breaks, but that's because there's things that go there.
Yeah.
Or, a Super Bowl, or, whatever, so they're not going to show an episode of a show to compete with the Super Bowl, because no one's going to watch. So, they have reasons during the normal season to take these breaks, and so they usually get them without any repercussion. But now that they don't have those
Yeah.
reasons, there's repercussions.
I think with Supergirl, they're still going to be airing it because that started at the end of March. So that's literally not even that far into the season yet. And so, and because that's taking the place of the break that Superman and Lois is taking. So they're not going to have any breaks for what they're showing of Supergirl up until May 18th because that's in its time slot.
Yeah.
So that's just going to air continuously until then. But once Superman and Lois comes back, then they'll probably either move Supergirl to another night and time, or that'll take its little break, and then they'll finish Superman and Lois, and then Supergirl will come back again after that.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I don't know how many episodes are left of Superman and Lois, but anyway.
I haven't tried it yet. If you guys think that show is good, let us know in the comments, and I might try watching it.
Probably not going to watch it.
No. Not unless I hear amazing things, because I don't care for
I'm just not invested
Superman.
enough in Superman anymore. I'm not. Smallville was the only Superman-based show that I cared about watching. I mean, Supergirl, yes, but like...
I was against watching Supergirl when it first aired. Not because of how campy it looked, either.
But because it was Superman-related. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, it's just another show to watch, and I have other shows that I would rather watch than that at the moment. So, if I see it, then it will be later.
Yeah.
After the season's already finished.
Yeah. After the first season. I might binge the first season on Netflix between seasons. I don't know.
Plus, I just feel like there's so much of it out there right now that, like, it's impossible to watch every superhero show that's out. So...
Yeah, like, I want to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but at the same time,
I've heard mixed opinions about it. I've heard that the first few episodes were okay, but then it gets good, and... Because there's only 6 episodes.
Oh.
It's like a mini-series.
Okay.
I think most of the shows that they're doing on Disney Plus that are the Marvel shows are going to just be one-season things. I don't know. I mean, they could be more, but I think that that's what their focus is. They're just kind of like continuations of the movies.
Right, of what happened in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I think with WandaVision, it's going to be the same way. I mean, yes, we would probably all love to have another season of WandaVision, but I think it's just meant to be a one-off.
Maybe. Yeah.
So, we'll see. But, yeah, so it's just hard, you know.
It is. There's a lot.
Because there's other shows I need to finish. I need to continue watching. And, like, I still need to finish Chuck. I haven't finished that yet.
You know, I never actually finished Chuck.
I'm on season 4. I'm, like, in the middle of season 4.
I watched the final episode, but I never finished Chuck.
How could you watch the final episode if you didn't finish it?
I wanted to know how it ended.
But you didn't see all the other stuff in between that led up to what happens in the finale. No.
I saw the majority of the series.
So you saw the finale and you were just like, what the hell is happening? Why is this happening?
No, I watched the finale. Basically watched. I think what I did was I watched the last couple minutes of the finale to see like who ended up with who, or if they ran off, if they separated, or you know, like if Chuck got the girl or not, you know, like what really ended up happening.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of will they, won't they did, they didn't, they did, they didn't, they did,
well,
they didn't.
Season 4 they're together.
Yeah, and then they're not, and then they are, and then they're not. And, yeah, it's this whole thing. Like, yeah.
Like the first like few seasons is more of the will they, won't they. And then season 3 is like when they get together, and then 4 they're like still together and stable, and then whatever happens at the end of 4 and into 5 is, you know.
So I stopped.
I'm on like episode 11 of season 4, so I'm like halfway through season 4, and then season 5 has 13 episodes, so yeah.
I think I only have season 5 to watch.
Well, it's on Prime. Just saying.
Right. I mean, it's like Fringe. I should finish the last 5 episodes.
You should finish Fringe.
But
that's on IMDb TV.
Right. But, like, what I'm saying is I should watch the last 5 episodes. But you know what?
I mean,
I know how it ends.
I can understand you not watching season 5 of Fringe. Because
it's so different.
It's very different. And it's good, but I would have been okay with just ending at season 4 and, like, being like, that's the end. You know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I liked the series finale. It's just the rest of season 5 is, like, you know.
Mm-hmm. Why I stopped watching it.
But I did watch the whole thing.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, I don't know what our point was. I think we had one originally.
Yeah, so sorry that we spent the first 10 minutes of this video not talking about The Flash at all.
You love us.
So I like how, you know, there's that theme of, like, the growth and, like, relationships and how Iris telling Barry what she did about relationships and, you know, how she related that to what she'd experienced with Joe and then what he's dealing with Nora and everything like that. It's just, she's always able to, like, just kind of get him on that right path and the right direction and, you know, figuring out how he's going to deal with something.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so it is awkward and it is hard because for him, that's his mom.
But not.
And so she's the Speed Force and it's just, it's weird for him.
Right, I don't think that's why it's so weird. I mean, I think that's why part of it, you know, like definitely part of it. But, you know, like I was saying last week, or, you know, last review, the idea of Nora being the Speed Force was okay with him. And because, like, that was his Speed Force blanket, you know?
Right.
And, like, that's what made him feel comfortable and safe using the Speed Force is because it was mom. Not mom, but mom. You know? But now he's faced with it every day, and it's changing his day-to-day life. And he's faced with not mom.
Yeah.
All the time. And she's acting like an overbearing parent, when she's not really his parent.
Yeah.
But she looks like her, and so I think that's what's making it hard, is that she's acting maybe like Nora would. And he's finding that aspect of this hard to deal with. Not necessarily the fact that, oh, the Speed Force looks like my mom, because he's dealt with that already, and he's already accepted that. But the fact that she's become a physical being, she's there in this, and she's starting to have human emotions and become more humanified.
Humanized.
Yes, but, you know, like...
Yeah. Have humanity.
Yes, because humanized is more like not what's like she's you don't like humanized is like the idea of like Americanization, like you integrate into the society.
Yeah.
But like you take on the ideas, like she's becoming more like she's gaining emotion. She's becoming like, even though she'll be meta-like, she's becoming a human with meta power. You know, that's more akin to what's happening.
Yeah.
Is that she's becoming a human meta that has godlike power and control over an entire universe of speed.
So yeah, to humanize is to make something more humane or civilized.
Yeah, but she's not making something humane or civilized. She's becoming human.
Right.
So
No, I know. I just was looking up.
Right. Yeah. Like, I knew, I don't know. It's just...
Like, when
words.
you humanize something, you're trying to, like, take something that might be, like, really wild or aggressive, and you're trying to, like, civilize it, and you're trying to humanize it in a way that they learn from it. Like, they kind of, like, learn some lessons, or they or there's growth,
or, like, they take, like,
you know.
Like...
I like to think of her more as, like, Data, or, you know, the EMH, where she's not human, but she's trying to be more human-like. She's trying to find her humanity and trying to find her identity.
Yeah, but those would be classified as humanization, because they're electronic constructs.
Yeah.
But she's not. She's an actual physical being.
She's a sentient being.
Exactly. Who's become physical.
Yeah.
She's joined the physical plane.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, I mean...
But it's still kind of a similar concept.
Yeah, but I don't think she's looking for humanity or trying to find her humanity. What's happening is...
She's just trying to learn more about herself through her physical...
No. Like, I think what's really happening here is that she took on a physical form so that she could find Barry in the physical, because she didn't have enough power to bring him to her.
Yeah.
She had to go find him physically. And in doing that, and creating a physical body and becoming more human, she is being forced to have these new experiences, these new human emotions and experiences, because as the Speed Force, she doesn't have to deal with emotion or, you know, whatever. I mean, now that she's the Speed Force of love, she kind of has to deal with love emotion, but, like, now that she's in the physical plane, she has to deal with the day-to-day of human life, which is very emotional and stressing and exhausting, and also amazing and wonderful and joyful, and life is oxymoronic, and she's trying to deal with that.
Yeah.
And she can't, because she's never had to do that before. But she's always existed.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, as a being that has always existed, but never had to deal with the day-to-day of human life, now she has to. Like, this is being forced upon her. You know, like, she didn't have a choice if she wanted to get human emotion. She was reborn of love. Like, she automatically forced to have love emotion. And then she becomes human-ish. And she's forced to have concern and, like, worry and doubt and, you know, all these other things. Now she has to deal with the Pandora box of emotion, you know? And it's not what she was made for, what her original identity was, and so she's trying to discover that now.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's all wibbly wobbly.
Timey-wimey.
Well, not necessarily timey-wimey. There's no time travel yet.
Just adding to it.
I know. I was just being a dick. Very Winona and Mercedes
today's
of me.
David Tennant's birthday, by the way.
Oh, fuck.
And the actress who plays Jackie, they share a birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's 50 today.
No way.
April 18th, 1971.
He's still damn fine, man. Holy hell. Dude. He's still hot. Like, he ages very well. He's
and
like
Peter
a fine.
Capaldi's birthday was like the 14th.
Wow.
Yeah.
That man is like a fine wine. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So Capaldi's was April 14th of 1958.
dude's so old.
He's not that old. He's younger than my parents.
I was just being a dick. He just seems older because he has so much gray hair and he's so like.
Yep, April 18th, 1971.
Wow. He's so attractive.
He is.
So,
and Jodie Whittaker and Arthur Darvill share the exact same birthday and year.
What about the hour?
Like, they were both born June 17th, 1982.
Wow.
Yep.
So, yeah. Flash was a great episode.
It was. Yeah, so Camille Coduri, hers is April 18th, 1965, so her and David Tennant share a birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I enjoyed the Iris moment.
Yeah.
And, like, her big epiphany for Barry. And,
And I mean, Chester helping out a lot in this episode was nice, and the stuff with Frost and Mark was
how they are both incredibly attracted to each other and yet want to kill each other. That was a special fight. I love how happy she was when she walked out of the bar the first time. When he's like, just come back. You know?
And
she's like,
Mark.
Yes. Like,
and they were playing, it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
It is getting so hot, I'm gonna take my clothes off. Yeah. Yeah. They thought.
What?
No, I was like this. Made it look like they thought. Yeah. But yeah, like, I enjoyed seeing Frost in a situation that she's not been in before. She's like, hot damn. You know, like,
yeah.
Like, I was wondering, like, about Frost, like, what, like, cause she comes off very, like she doesn't know what she is, who she is, right? I mean, she's discovering that, and she's becoming more, like, confident in her as a person. But we haven't seen her decide, like, not really decide, but, like, we didn't know if she was gonna go for guys.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that was a real question of where she landed. I mean, we don't know if she likes both, but, you know, like, I don't know, all my favorite characters end up being gay, so I was just like, I mean, think about it. All my favorite characters end up being gay or bi, and I'm like...
But they haven't really had a lot of that in The Flash.
Right. So that's why I was like, wait, Frost and Caitlin are my favorite characters, but, I mean, not really, but yes, like, the idea of who Frost has become is, so she's become my favorite character, right? Like, after the initial, like, oh, they're gonna kill puppies, oh, Frost is out, you know, like, that bullshit, when that was done, and they became friends, I really loved the character.
Yeah.
It became one of my favorite. And, like, with them not having that representation when all the other superhero shows currently do, I mean, most of them, I'm not sure about some of them. Like, I was wondering, because we know Caitlin is straight. But Frost is her own person.
Mm-hmm.
And we've never seen her in any situation where she was even slightly attracted to anyone. I was like, is she not is that not something for her? Does she not find anyone attractive? Does she not need that? Like, you know, I mean, where does she fall? Because we haven't had any difference on this show.
Right.
And so, I mean, to see her ogling this extremely attractive man, like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like, okay, well, we have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
If it's half an answer, that's great. If it's the full answer, that's great. I don't care. Mm-hmm. I just want it answered. Because for me, it would probably be the first one for me in any of these shows that didn't turn out, you know, like LGBT.
Right.
You know, which obviously I don't mind, but you know, I wanted that answered. Like, to me, that's important. It's part of her character, and I need to know.
Right.
So, I'm glad we saw her attracted to someone.
Mm-hmm.
If that wasn't her thing, that would have been cool too. Yeah. But we would have needed that clarified.
Right.
So, I was just wondering how long they were going to take.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's been her own person discovering herself for like a season and a half.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what drives her?
Yeah. I think The Flash is gonna be one of the superhero shows that's not really gonna do that. Not really gonna go in that direction.
It is one that's more geared towards kids, and some people do try to keep their kids away from that.
I mean, it's Supergirl has it, of course, and Batwoman, and you know, Stargirl didn't really have it. Because that has more of like the kind of retro vibes to it.
Right. So that wasn't really
so
done
that wasn't
back
really
then.
The focus.
Right.
So Batwoman and Supergirl are the main two right now that are on that have that.
Right. And then you have Legends coming back that definitely has
with Ava and Sarah.
Yeah. So the Flash is the only main. The only main show that doesn't.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even if Arrow was still on, it would have that because of, what's his face? Mr. Terrific. That was his name, right? He had a T. I think he was terrific.
Yeah.
He had a husband that they got divorced, and, you know, and Sarah was originally from that show.
Yeah.
And they had,
Nessa.
Yes. One of my favorite characters.
Nessa.
Right. One of my favorite characters, and I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah, so it's fine. You know, it's never really been...
It's not about that.
No, it's never really been about that.
Right.
So...
But, like, for me, I needed that clarified.
Well, yeah, of course. With the character.
Exactly.
But yeah, so... I guess we'll see what happens to her in court.
Yes. I am not exactly nervous because, I mean, Frost is a newer character, you know, as her own person.
I mean,
and they wouldn't throw her in jail forever, like, as soon as she got free. Like, the show wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You know, in reality, that would happen. You know, but it's TV.
Right.
She could get released on probation under the Flash's care and be forced.
And I mean, they should also
help.
take into consideration that she's been doing good.
Right. And she's never killed anyone, despite the moniker.
Yeah. So, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
A very holy day.
Yeah.
Yes. So was there any other aspect? I liked how close she got with Allegra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Allegra was like, nope, you're not doing it.
Yeah. And she's like, I was in Iron Heights for 5 years. I can tell when someone wants to break out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Like, the thing is for me, like, yes, she spent 5 years in Iron Heights. And she's like, you go to prison, you go to Iron Heights. They're not, like, they don't make you better. Like, places like that, like, just breed hatred and, like, make you worse. And I'm like, so what happened to you then?
It depends on the situation.
Right. But I mean, like, she was forced to fight with her cousin.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
meta fights with her cousin in jail.
You can get better. A lot of people.
Yeah, but she never had a struggle like
Yeah.
that when she came out. And I'm like, wait, so how hardcore are you again? Like, I spent 5 years in prison, man, and, like, it changes you. I'm like, then were you a flower petal when you went in?
Yeah.
Because, girl, you went in hard. I mean,
right.
like, what?
Yeah.
That confuses me. Like, she never had any kind of story that was like, yeah, no, I was hardcore and now, like, I overcame that part of me and now I'm chill and mellow. Like, no, she's just like, I'm gonna try my best to be a better person the second I get out, cause I can do it. The can-do attitude gets you there every time, and she's never slipped up. And I'm like, so Iron Heights changed you? How?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
you warning Killer Frost. It does not have an impact on me, like, at all.
Right.
You had no qualms when you got out. You never went back to your evil ways of stealing cars or anything like that. Like, I'm sorry. I think maybe she did once steal a car, but she was doing it to help, like, the team or something. And I'm just like, but she was helping the team. She was using her skill set to save someone or do something in that vein. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's not really that's not you going back to your life of crime. Like, that's not you having a relapse of any kind. Like, that was you helping. Like, I'm confused. Are you confused? Because I am.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done with that.
No,
rant.
I get it. Like, that remark was a little weird.
Yeah, like, every time she popped on, I just like, that just kept coming through my mind, like, how hard are you? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if she was referring to her cousin or sister, it was cousin, yeah?
Cousin, I think.
If she was referring to how her cousin went in and got worse, then that should have been specified. Because that I do believe, because they went in together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her cousin was in for something a little bigger, like maybe like breaking and entering and theft, like, B&E theft, maybe, or something. I don't know. But it did seem like it was a little more than hijacking a car, but, like, that progressed once they got powers. Yes, she became evil. She works for the bad guys. Allegra never, like, it should have been specified that she was talking about her cousin, because Allegra has nothing to talk about.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm enjoying seeing Chester have a bigger role and help out the team.
I want to see his powers.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll see his powers more.
We need to watch him get a handle on them, and he needs to become part of the active team.
Yeah.
Especially with Cisco taking more of a laid back role and mecha vibe not really being there all too much, like taking more of a back seat to everything, focusing more on inventions than his super power side, his superhero side. So it's like we need someone to take that spot because Flash can't do it alone, and Allegra needs help. Like, she's not all that amazing, and Frost can only do so much.
Yeah.
Like, he needs a team, and 2.5 people are not a team.
Right.
I mean, they are, but he needs a more cohesive team.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. He needs to get to training more people, and we need Ralph to come back. A new Ralph. Whoever they get.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else?
I don't think so.
I'm proud of Frost.
Me too.
Screw that secret agent. Okay, so I guess until the 4th.
Next time. Till the 4th.
Yeah. Until next time, keep believing in the impossible.